Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode. We're diving into one of the exciting techniques in creative thinking, deferring judgments. Now, you might be wondering, what does that even mean? Well, let me tell you, it's a game changer when it comes to finding innovative solutions through lateral thinking. And at the heart of it all is something called the creative pause. Intrigued? Let's break it down together. So what exactly is a creative pause? It is simple. It's the act of intentionally stopping your thought process and taking a moment to reflect. Now you might ask, how long do I have to pause? There's no magic number, but trust me, even 20 seconds to 30 seconds can work wonders. What's really important here is creating that little pocket of freedom in your mind to think outside the box, without the pressure to come up with a solution right away. And hey, the best part? Practicing these pauses regularly is like training your brain to be more creative. How cool is that? So here's a brilliant thought from Dr. Edward de Bono, one of the pioneers of creative thinking. So he said, if the flow of a stream is temporarily blocked, the water will immediately find a new pattern. Simply pausing the fast flow of thoughts can create new paths for thinking. So creative pauses make this possible. Amazing, isn't it? Just think about it. When we pause, we're giving our minds the chance to find a brand new way forward. Now, let's talk about why slowing down is so important. When you pause and take a moment, it's like hitting the refresh button on your brain. You begin to notice things you might have missed before, and suddenly new ideas start to pop up. Sometimes creativity really is about stepping back and taking it slow. And in today's fast-paced and competitive world, especially in environments like education, this is a lesson we can all take to heart. Speaking of education, like in Korea, let's look at the Korean education system, for example. It's all about accuracy and step-by-step logical thinking, what we call vertical thinking. So students are expected to memorize everything perfectly, and there's so much pressure to be always right. But here's the thing, that pressure can crush creativity. To generate new ideas, you need to embrace mistakes. Yes, mistakes. They are part of the creative process. Lateral thinking, on the other hand, welcomes those so-called wrong ideas because they can lead us to brilliant, unexpected solutions. Let's talk about Christopher Columbus and his discovery of the New World. It's one of the best examples of how we often consider mistakes or wrong beliefs can lead to groundbreaking discoveries and innovations. At the core of lateral thinking is the ability to break away from conventional frameworks and approach problems from a new perspective. Columbus exemplified this mindset perfectly. Now, Columbus's discovery was rooted in what we'd call a mistaken belief. He was convinced that sailing west would lead him to India. This idea went against the common knowledge of the time, as most navigators and scholars believed that the only way to reach India was through a long journey around the southern tip of Africa. But Columbus chose to ignore the established route and instead embarked on a whole new path westward. This is where we see lateral thinking in action. So vertical thinking is the step-by-step approach based on existing knowledge and logic. Lateral thinking, however, challenges the status quo and explores new possibilities. Columbus's decision to sail west was a perfect example of breaking out of the traditional mold and seeking unexplored opportunities. At first, Columbus's journey appeared to be a failure. He didn't find India. Instead, he stumbled upon the northern coast of Brazil. But what initially seemed like a mistake turned into one of the most significant discoveries in history, the New World. This story highlights an important characteristic of lateral thinking. It doesn't guarantee instant success. Instead, it encourages us to embrace failures and unexpected outcomes as opportunities to discover new possibilities. So lateral thinking doesn't rush to judge ideas. Instead, it encourages us to reflect on why an idea might seem wrong and how it could be used in a meaningful way. This approach fosters a mindset of openness and tolerance, unlocking new opportunities and paving the way for innovative solutions. Dr. Edward de Bono offers some fantastic tips for teachers who want to nurture lateral thinking in their students. Here are his key suggestions. First is don't judge ideas too quickly. Second, avoid choosing one method as better than the others. Third, encourage a listing a variety of ideas and building on others' contributions. Fourth, examine the function behind the foundation of a design. Fifth, separate the purpose of design from its functionality. Sixth, ask questions without criticizing and focus on understanding the reasons behind ideas. Seventh, avoid imitating designs you might have seen in movies, televisions, or comics. On top of these, teachers can incorporate spaced thinking exercises, a method tied to metacognition. This approach helps students improve their long-term memory and develop the ability to thoughtfully analyze problems and situations. By encouraging distributed learning, students can grasp fundamental conceptual structures and apply them effectively to new challenges. So let's look at an example of distributed learning. Imagine students are learning a new science concept. Instead of trying to master it in one sitting, they revisit it over several days. On the first day, they learn the basic definitions and principles. And on the second day, they conduct an experiment to apply these principles. And finally, on the third day, they solve problems related to the concept. So this kind of spaced out learning helps students understand and retain the concept more deeply. Another example is learning a new language. Instead of cramming vocabulary all at once, students can spread their practice over several days. On day one, they learn the meanings of these words, and on day two, maybe several days later, they practice using the words in sentences. And on day three, maybe more later, they engage in conversations using the new words. So this gradual repetition improves memory retention and helps them use the words naturally. So when tackling complex problems, admitting "I don't know yet" and taking time to reflect can often be the most effective approach. This pause allows for deeper conversations with others, better analysis, and more thoughtful decisions. It creates the mental space for ideas and solutions to emerge naturally. Sometimes pausing the process and looking at a problem from a different perspective can be incredibly beneficial. For example, when a company is developing a new product, the team might stop all tasks and seek feedback from various departments, marketing, customer service, even cleaning staff. By gathering diverse insights, the product development team can gain fresh ideas and create something truly innovative. So in the end, the more critical the problem, the more important it is to take a slow, deliberate approach. Pausing, reflecting, and seeking multiple perspectives are essential foundations of lateral thinking. I hope today's discussion has inspired you to think differently. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time with another fascinating topic. Bye-bye.